Ladies and gentlemen, today's conversation is feeling stuck. When I think of feeling stuck is when I'd go to school and the lunch lady would scoop up the mashed potatoes without any love. She'd pop them on the tray, and as I dug into it, it just felt so hard. I'd turn the tray around and there they were, mashed potatoes all stuck and nasty. We don't want to be nasty, stuck, hard mashed potatoes. We want to be free flowing and every day being smooth and sexy how we want to be. Head rolls, everybody, do those head rolls. If you're that kind of person that says, but I'm always doing, I'm always searching, I'm always trying new things, and I always come back to the same place, and I don't know why I can't get ahead. Actions don't equal results necessarily. Mind movement equals results. So it's about getting the mind flowing, retraining the brain, like I always talk about, thinking differently, changing the thought process. We tend to think that if we're always busy and we keep pushing and we keep going towards the goal and we do, that eventually we'll be rewarded for all this action that we're taking. But if the action that we're taking is always with the same mind frame, you're actually always going to end up in the same place. Are you doing things to only get the physical results, or are you doing things to really change your environment, to really change the energy around you in a much deeper way than just results? For example, making more money, having fame, being popular. All these things are materialistic things. They'll always bring you right back into that same place of feeling bad or feeling like you're not accomplishing what you want to, because in the mind, you're still in the same place as you were before. You still feel the same way about yourself. You still have the same doubts. You still have the same worries and fears. And so all these things have to shift in the mind before they can actually take place in physical form. What the hell is this woman talking about? I feel you. Let me break it down. So when I began as a professional dancer, I wanted to do all these things in my career. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to go on tour. I wanted to have a great career. Like, I did it. I accomplished my dream of being the professional dancer, whatever that means, whatever that image meant to me. I had this idea physically of what I needed to do to get there. And yes, they're all true. I had to train hard. I had to go to all the auditions. I had to go to the social events. I had to meet people, chat with them, get to know everybody, socialize, blah, 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 blah. And these things were all things that I was doing. But in my mind, I was doubtful. I was fearful. I came to a point where I had a breakdown and I thought, ugh, why is nothing happening? I'm putting forth all this work into this. I'm really going wholeheartedly into it. I'm trying with my everything to make this happen. So why is this dream of mine not happening in my life? My mind movement was static. It was completely still. I was still having the same repetitive thought pattern that wasn't helping me over and over again. So even though physically I was moving, mentally I was not. I started thinking positive thoughts, or rather selecting the positive thoughts from my brain. Your brain is going to think. That's what it was designed to do. But just because your brain is thinking doesn't necessarily mean that what it's thinking is truth. I started to decide to choose the positive thoughts of my mind. And I was like picking leaves from a tree or beautiful flowers from a tree. And I would think, oh, that's a beautiful thought. Oh, we'll take that one. Oh, no, don't need that one. I'm going to throw it away. I'll take that one and that one and that one. And eventually I had this beautiful bouquet of flowers of all positive thoughts that were going to help me towards my dream. Who doesn't love a beautiful bouquet of flowers? Okay. And when I started dancing or doing all the things I loved because they felt good to me, because they were truthful to me, because I could look in the mirror and say, oh yeah, girl, you're badass. You're doing what you were meant to do and it's feeling good. And then I had this beautiful bouquet of flowers by my side that I could just smell and be like, yep, you're good. You smell beautiful. And all of a sudden, the actions started escalating and boom, the dream happened. The results of this mind movement, this retraining of the brain, this selecting of thoughts became very self-empowering. Now I understood that I could unstuck myself. I could unstick myself. It was just selecting the positive thoughts that were going to help me forth towards change versus repeating the same thought patterns of I can't, I won't, I'll never be able to accomplish, or why can't I, or gossiping, or complaining, or excuses, all these things that happen in the brain, and you might not even recognize really that they're happening. This is why people meditate and just become aware of thoughts. Starts to shift your life and starts to create change, and it literally turns the tray around and the mashed potatoes go and they spread all over the place and become part of your universe, part of your environment, part of your energy so naturally that things are always shifting and changing, and you're always shifting and changing with them, and it always feels good. There's nothing that can happen to you that doesn't feel organically good, because you're always open to all these positive ideas in your mind, and your body then moves with the wind, just like a dancer shifts and it moves and it goes into the next moment where the balance is shifted. That open mind, that open breath, that open feeling where the body is dancing because the mind is allowing it to move free. Choose your beautiful self-loving bouquet of flower, positive thoughts that are going to push you forward. And be that dancer that flows with the wind, that allows the mind to take the body versus the body just moving and moving and moving, but the mind is at a standstill. Be open to change. Be open to the dream changing. Be open to whatever comes your way with love and breath and, of course, head rolls. Bye.